Critics are now pushing for a boycott of Ben and Jerry's ice cream. You might have heard about this little kerfuffle, calling it the next Bud Light. This after the ice cream maker tweeted on Independence Day, quote, "This 4th of July, it's high time we recognize that the U.S. exists on stolen indigenous land and commit to returning it, starting with Mount Rushmore." We did reach out to Ben and Jerry's for their response. We haven't heard back from them. Niall Stanage always has something to say, White House columnist for The Hill. Okay, 2 hot button issues. Let's stick with ice cream first. The parent company, Unilever, of Ben and Jerry's, reportedly lost nearly $2 billion worth of B in market capital in recent days. So, you know, it's not surprising that Ben and Jerry's has made another controversial statement. What might be interesting to study is why in the world people, customers or prospective customers, are so engaged offering that equal energy that maybe some corporations are surprised by.
Yeah, absolutely. I think this one is interesting because the tweet itself was on Independence Day, a time that is a holiday, and people don't generally want to be dragged back into the mire of all kinds of disputes. I also think, you know, the sloganeering element or the virtue signaling element of it is part of it as well. You can acknowledge that there were wrongs done to Indigenous people in the history of this country, but to suggest that it's remotely realistic that the United States is going to somehow dissolve itself and give the land back, I mean, everyone knows that's not going to happen. But I also do think, Adrienne, there is the aggregate effect of all these controversies, and you've already alluded to some of them, the Bud Light thing, and then there have been others with Target, Disney, various other companies. So I think there is a sort of aggregational weariness with some of this stuff.
Weariness, but also, I mean, it seems as though Ben and Jerry's, this is not your grandpapa's political climate. Are they out of touch? Are other corporations out of touch, not realizing that political messaging could really backfire and alienate the very people they want to buy their products?
Yeah, I think that is an issue. And I would actually distinguish a little bit between Ben and Jerry's and some other companies, because everyone knows that Ben and Jerry's founders are very, very liberal. There are other companies that are known to have conservative values. Hobby Lobby is maybe one of the most obvious examples. It seems to me the companies that get into most trouble are those that seem opportunistic. And I think that's why the Bud Light thing has been such a debacle. Right. It just seemed like on one hand, they wanted to appeal to a younger audience. They thought, oh, well, we can do that by appearing supportive of trans rights. Then there was this huge backlash. Then they backed away from it. And it's like, don't claim to stand on principle, whatever the principle is, if you're just actually being an opportunist about it or trying to increase your market share. That generally backfires for everybody.
Yeah, that backfires for individuals, too, just jumping on a trend for the sake of being trendy. Another topic, you know, people might be interested to know that Democrat Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez first brought up legislation funding for psychedelic research back in like 2019. But now she's teaming up with Republican Dan Crenshaw for this bill that would actually remove barriers on the study of these psychedelic drugs. So it's like one day, long, long ago, it was only like 4 years ago, AOC seemed like a very out of touch young junior congresswoman who had a little mushroom bill. But now they're getting more support, and she's actually having bipartisan support. What is going on?
What is going on is the increasing body of research that suggests that these drugs could be useful in the treatment of PTSD or depression or addiction issues in particular. And that's what's drawn Congressman Crenshaw into this. He, as many of your viewers will know, is a former Navy SEAL. He lost an eye fighting in Afghanistan. And he has been talking to veterans groups that have cited some of this research suggesting that these drugs can be particularly useful in at least easing the symptoms of PTSD. Obviously, that's a huge problem in the veteran community. So that's the perspective he's coming from, even as AOC is coming from a slightly different perspective about opioid substitutes and the potential usefulness of some of these drugs in that regard.
Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.